Hi guys, today we're going to be learning about journaling. I started journaling again a few years ago and I've found that it's been really helpful in my life, both personal and work-wise. I bring my journal, which is this right here, everywhere with me, and I just thought I would like to share a few tips and tricks for you to help you get started on your journaling path, whatever that may look like for you. So getting started, the materials that you may need are a journal. I use dotted line journal, also known as bullet journals. I like the freedom that they give you that are similar to those that are blank, but the organization of having those dots, being able to really stay within the lines when I need to, that you would get from, say, lined journals or graph journals. So yeah, and just to give you a little bit easier look, you can see the little dots. Super helpful. The other thing you might be considering is getting like a mini binder or just a binder, but the mini binder travels a little bit easier, and getting little tabs and filler paper and just filling it as you need it, and then making that style work for you as well. Washi tape is another thing that I would recommend. It's basically craft tape that has fun designs and such. It's fun for decorating or for making tabs. You can find it anywhere, such as Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Michael's, or order some on Amazon in a bunch of different patterns and colors and such. If you don't want to use washi tape for tabs, you can also just get tabs, or if you have the little sticky tabs just lying around your house, that works too. Pens, paints, markers, pencils, whatever it is that you want to do to fill your journal. I mostly use dual-sided brush tip pens. So on one side they are brush tip, almost markers, and on the other side they are just fine tip pens. Sometimes using paints can be fun when you want to get like the more creative side of you out, and when you do that, I would recommend watercolor over, say, like acrylics. I definitely would not use oils inside your journal. Yeah, and so those are materials, and maybe a ruler. I've found that sometimes even with the dots, having a ruler or some kind of straight edge around is really helpful. For the beginning of your journal, I always leave the first page of mine blank, so that I can go back in and put in an index when the whole journal's filled up. So then when I'm looking for something in particular, it's easy for me to find right here. But I never fill out the index until the whole journal is complete. Hence why this one is still blank, because this journal is probably only halfway full. You don't have to do that though. Your journal can just be a journal, and you may not want to go back through it, or if you do, you just want to do it at random, and you don't have to do an index. The next thing I do, for me, with the index, it's kind of like keeping chapters in a book, so I know like which chapter certain things are located in. If I want to go back and look, is I put monthly pages. And so what that will look like here is, this is from July of last year. It will have the month, the year, and then just the brief calendar look, so that if I'm on a phone call and I need to flip to it real quick, I know we all have calendars on our phones and such, but if you're in a place that you don't have earbuds, or you can't put it on speaker, and you've got your journal right there anyway, because that's where you're taking notes, then I just find that that's easy and great. And then I put the monthly to-do list, super minimalistic, right next to it. It's got the day of the week and the date itself, and then anything that needs to happen. As I got further into my journal, a lot of that became color coordinated. And then sometimes even before any of that is figuring out how you want to use your journal, which is something that I'm going to kind of help you maybe figure out today. So let's get started. And don't forget, I know a lot of people think that starting something new, especially something that seems as time-consuming and complex as journaling, they forget to just breathe and let the experience wash over them. So don't forget to breathe. So again, here are some like monthly shots. If you're just looking for something new and fun and different, this one's super minimalistic. The month isn't even themed, but it does have the month and the year. Again, for me, that's for chapter purposes. If a journal lasts me over a year, and then I know which September I'm flipping back to. And then again, color coordinated. So some colors are holidays and birthdays. That would be red. Pink is personal. Green is work related. Or maybe you just want to get artistic, and so on one page you would just have something fun and fancy, and on the other page you would have the whole month just laid out like this, and you don't need a to-do list. Maybe you need to get even more organized, so one page you can just create your own calendar here, and then I put little dots that are color coordinated to the corresponding events that happen on those dates over here. Obviously, some of them will have more than one dot. This is just one example. Yours can look however you want. But if you're like me and you forget people's birthdays or what holiday is coming up next, then this is a great way of doing all of that. So that's just a few examples of how your opening month can look. So let's get back to journal use. Depending on where you are in life, what phase of life you're going through at the time will depend a lot on how you want to use your journal. And you may want one journal that has all of these things in there, and you may want a journal per thing. You may want something that's not even listed on here, and that's fine as well. So just to go through a couple of them, planner or organizational tool, they can be two different things. A lot of people see planner and they're like an organizational tool and are just like, isn't that essentially the same thing? No, not necessarily. Planner, you're actually planning out your week, your month, day by day, and organizational tool might be getting organized in your personal life a little bit more, or figuring out how to organize your house, especially during crazy times like coronavirus, when suddenly everyone's home and maybe you realize certain things just aren't running as smoothly when everybody is home. Or maybe they're running more smoothly because people are doing more things, and you have to rethink how to run things when things go back to normal. Maybe you want it as a creative outlet. That can be art, sure. Drawing, painting, Inktober, all those fun things. It can also be writing. Maybe you want some writing prompts, poetry. Maybe you want to create something that combines those, like your own graphic novel or a comic strip or something along those lines. Maybe you want to go into some form of journalism or reviewing or something one day, and you can tie that in how you want. So yeah, I mean, you figure out what kind of creative outlet you want and then use your journal for it. It can be your own recipe book. Sure, you can buy cookbooks, but for instance, in my life, I found out that I was dairy-free when I was 20. And so a lot of my favorite recipes I had to start learning how to tweak. And so having one place that I could go in and figure out, not have to refigure out each time the exact ratio in replacing things like yogurt in a recipe or the kind of butter or milk or something, because those things do change. Maybe you want it for training, whether it's training for a marathon or you're just training for NaNoWriMo, which is like a big writing event in November, or you're just training for yourself to get back into shape. I mean, training can be for literally anything, whatever it is that you're looking for. Info dumping. I often just have pages that are info dumping, and all that is like when my brain has a little too much happening up there and I can't focus on one thing, but I know something up there is important, just writing it all out, not really worrying about any rhyme or reason to how it's coming out. And maybe I don't see what that brilliant idea was during that info dump, but I can go back and look through past info dumps, or brain dumps is the other word, and find like bits and pieces of these ideas and realize, oh, this is where my train of thought was trying to go. You can use it as a scrapbook. It doesn't just have to be pictures. It can be postcards and letters, notes from high school, decorate it how you want. You can have it as a travel blog. I think that that's a great idea if you're going on like on a road trip or backpacking across Europe, or it can be like your hiking book and like what trails were really great and what trails weren't advanced enough for you, or maybe too advanced for you, or where you met that really cool person on that one mountain biking trip, and different things like that. And then I had one person who said gardening, because if you have a whole lot happening in your yard gardening wise, like planning and plotting where everything goes and what should be planted next to each other, and maybe what helpful things to add to your garden to help keep certain bugs away but attract others, is a great thing to have all in one place. And then actual journaling, which is just you making a time every day to sit down and either write what happened about your day, or emotionally what's happening with you, or mentally just venting. Even during these times, like, it's definitely great to talk to somebody, but sometimes, especially during these times, people have stuff going on too, and you never know what you might be dumping onto somebody else. And so letting it out first by writing it out will also help you get like a clearer perspective sometimes. So those are a bunch of different ways that you can use your journal, or you can use them none of these ways. And maybe you have your own use for your journal. We'll see you next time on more journaling tips and tricks, and I hope that this was all fun and helpful for you. Thanks so much. Bye.